Well, there you saw the scene in Florida. So joining me now is legal analyst Barry Covert. We appreciate you being with us. Barry's been in the legal system for many, many years, but we've never seen what we saw today.
No, it was historic.
Very unusual. But at the base of it, it was an arraignment.
Correct.
Describe what happens at an arraignment.
It's a very simple proceeding. As a matter of fact, it's so basic that even the main judge who's handling the case, Judge Cannon, didn't even handle it herself.
Right.
She had the magistrate judge handle this. An arraignment is usually a very short proceeding. You walk into court, the judge asks the defendant, "Are you Barry Covert?" And then at that point, he says, "Have you seen the indictment?" "Yes, I have." The lawyer will usually say, we'll waive a formal reading. We don't require that the judge read all the elements, all of the indictment out. And then we plead not guilty. The only complication sometimes is the bail issue, which was not an issue here. So normally an arraignment is 3 or 4 minutes, and it's not a big deal. But if there's a bail question, then it can turn into a long, drawn-out argument. But this was a normal, very simple proceeding, but incredibly historic. It's the former president.
That's exactly right. They did waive reading of all the charges
Correct.
today. But something interesting did happen, and that is that the co-defendant, Walt Nada, who has worked with the president very closely, did not enter a plea today because he did not have local counsel in Florida. Unusual?
You're required to have a lawyer that's admitted in that district handle the case if you're going to plead not guilty. Apparently his lawyers from outside of the district who need then a local counsel, it happens all the time, we have these cases all over the country, we have to have local counsel who then move for what's called a pro hoc vice to have us admitted. I find it unusual that his out-of-town counsel didn't already move to have either a local counsel or be admitted what's called pro hoc vice so that the out-of-town counsel could actually handle it themselves. So this was a bit unusual.
There are reports today that Donald Trump is still trying to add to his legal team. How unusual is that on the day of arraignment?
It's not unusual that you're working on a legal team on the day of arraignment. You could be working on a legal team even after the case begins. What's unusual is he's having a hard time apparently finding good lawyers to handle the case. So that is unusual that the people with a high profile reputation as a lawyer you'd usually want to have an incredibly historical case. Everybody involved in this case is going to be written about for the next 100, 200, 300 years because look at how we talk about Nixon's case, and he didn't even get indicted. He wasn't even impeached. But we all of our generation remember Nixon proceedings. We remember O.J. Simpson case. This will out-Trump them all.
All right.
Unintended.
Yes, okay. I want to talk about the judge. You touched on it. It was a magistrate judge today who is now done with the case.
No. The magistrate judge could still handle discovery matters, initial motions, other lower proceedings, and then hand the case up to the judge. Depending on how they want to divide up the duties, the magistrate judge could still be very actively involved. In some districts, the district court judge takes it over fully after today, but for example, in our district, the Western District of New York, the magistrate judge will handle the case for many months to get the case ready for trial, then hand it up to the district court judge, who then will look at the motion decisions that the magistrate judge made, decide whether to accept those decisions or not, and then do the final preparations for trial.
Okay, that is something that I misunderstood there. One final thing I want to ask you, because we're running out of time, but about the calendar. There's a lot of talk about slow walking this case and that kind of thing. But does a judge in a case like this look at the calendar for the Republican nomination? I mean, here we have the front runner for the Republican nomination in court. There will be primaries coming up. There will be debates coming up. I mean, in setting court dates, does the judge look at that calendar or not pay attention to it?
The judge can look at whatever information the judge wants to look at. And you can argue that's very proper for the judge to look at the upcoming national election and say, I don't want this case to interfere with that. And so I'm going to try to work this case around that schedule. There'd be nothing wrong with that. Judge Cannon, though, is going to be criticized if she does that because she's known as being, or thought to be pro-Trump, gave him very, very favorable rulings earlier. The circuit court above her really slapped her down on her decisions. So she's thought to be very pro-Trump. So she may be sensitive to that and not want to dictate the calendar. Normally in a federal case like this, you'd expect a calendar of a trial date about a year out. That would be right before the election.
Yeah.
She may well say, listen, a year out's fine. This is a complicated, high-profile case. I'm going to move it to after the election.
Okay, timing is going to be critical in
Everything.
this case. Everybody says that. Barry, thank you so much for your insight. I'm sure we'll be talking to you as the case moves forward.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.